Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Yoli Tamu. As we close out this month of emotional wellness, I thought it'd be important to share tips on how to maintain this wellness by discovering the power of vulnerability. Without the experience of love, loss, and forgiveness, it can be hard to truly understand what it means to be vulnerable. But if you want to be respected for being your authentic self and therefore attract genuine relationships, you have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to share how you truly feel and what you really desire from every encounter with another human being. Now, you got to be willing to tell yourself first so that you can ultimately tell other people. And of course, yes, it's going to be scary and nerve-wracking to bare your soul, but there's no need to share every little thing that enters your head. Everyone doesn't deserve that conversation. Save that for your therapist or your spiritual guide. There's no need to share every little thing with everyone. In fact, some things are sacred and should remain private and safe within so that you can observe how your feelings change over time and how you evolve. After all, time truly does heal all wounds if you allow it to. So, do you want to have an authentic experience in college? Well, if so, I have compiled 5 ways to tap into your vulnerability so that you can embrace your daily experiences with joy and anticipation. Number 1, allow your heart to break wide open. Oftentimes, when you think of vulnerability, many relate it to love and intimacy in romantic relationships. Yes, vulnerability is important in those kinds of relationships, but it is far more important when you consider how it relates to the relationship you have with yourself. Arriving on a college campus is exciting, and the atmosphere is filled with all kinds of interesting people, and with all this excitement comes the introduction of potential dating partners. The catchphrase, fresh meat, runs rampant on campus as many young men and women search to find a dating partner. Now, meeting new people and even being open to dating is fine, but it is important to remember not to limit your experience or yourself by spending most of your time with just one person. When you do this, you may open yourself up to heartbreak and disappointment unnecessarily, and you may even miss out on the possibility of building other lifelong friendships. Now, if you do experience heartbreak, it is important to feel the pain so that you can discover how to heal with the support of new friends and the joy of pursuing your major. I took the emotional risk of opening myself up to someone too soon in a romantic relationship, and I experienced the heartbreak. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Nope. That experience showed me how I prefer to be treated in relationships moving forward. My heart was broken wide open with compassion for myself, and I began to understand the value of honoring all my relationships by surrounding myself with people who positively challenged me and encouraged me. I learned to protect the integrity of all my relationships by treating them with the unique respect and time they all deserved. I encourage you to do the same. Number 2, recognize the freedom in your expression. The beauty of being vulnerable is the freedom it offers. Once you realize that it is better to ask for what you need and say what you want, within reason, of course, life becomes easier and much more enjoyable. There's no need to try to fit in or be someone you're not. You already know what is important to you. You just have to share this information with the people around you. Now, some folks will appreciate your honesty and your direct way of communicating, but others will feel slightly uncomfortable with your display of confidence and self-assurance. But that's okay. A little discomfort never hurt anybody. In fact, discomfort helps you grow. But if you find the company you are keeping are put off by how you express yourself, it may be time to spend less time with those people. Everyone has insecurities, and sometimes the confidence of one can trigger the fear in another. So before you walk away, try to understand and empathize with someone who may disagree with you. Their voice is just as important as yours, and it is wise to offer grace to others by simply listening to their point of view as well. Ultimately, you can decide if the relationship is a good fit or not, but at least you offer them the same respect you would want them to offer you. So take some time to really think about the people who encourage you to be true to yourself. Identify the people who offer constructive criticism to help you grow, and allow them to express their goals with you so that you too can offer a constructive critique. Number 3, embrace the joy of connecting. Researcher, best-selling author, and professor Brené Brown is one of my favorite thought leaders. She once said in one of her viral YouTube videos, known as The Power of Vulnerability, in order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen. This is so true. No one will ever know who you are or how to treat you if they can't see you. And when I think of being seen, I think of being understood for what I believe in and what I represent. As a result, I always try to give from my heart, and therefore I am as transparent as they come. Unfortunately, to my detriment in some cases. But I found this character trait to just be very useful in the arts in school while I was in college, because we were trained to give from our souls in every performance. Whether I was dancing, singing, or acting, it was my responsibility to deliver my best and leave it all on the stage for the audience's consumption. So the skills that I developed in my classes became quite useful in my real life. I developed the courage to express myself authentically, and therefore my experiences with others were usually fun, full of substance, and definitely memorable. So as you create deeper connections with others, try to enjoy every moment by utilizing all of your senses if you can. Consider how the warm embrace of greeting a friend feels. Can you sit for hours just talking about your week while enjoying one another's company and eating your favorite foods, surrounded by your favorite things, such as essential oils and great music? So if you live in a dorm and you haven't introduced yourself to your neighbors, do so. Don't be a stranger. Oftentimes, there's a lot of fun going on in the next room. So take a risk and introduce yourself. You got a cool playlist you want to share? I always loved hearing some of my favorite artists' music blaring through those halls. So be open to sharing some of your favorite things. It will immediately draw you closer to others, and you will appreciate the connection and find joy in the experience. I promise. Number 4, develop the gift of discernment. Yes, discernment. The dictionary describes discernment as the ability to judge well. To this, I say good luck because it is an ongoing process. For every new experience, there is a new opportunity to see if you are as clear about your goals, your standards, and your values as you say you are. Temptation, distraction, and intimidation will always try to knock on your door. The key is for you to recognize the knock. The best way for you to recognize the knock is to set up your life in such a way that it is filled with peace, love, accountability, and emotional intelligence. Once you do this, temptation, distraction, intimidation will become easily recognizable, and it will stick out like a sore thumb because you are not used to it. You've become accustomed to transparency, joy, laughter, but this new energy doesn't feel like that. That's a telltale sign, a gut reaction, or even your higher power trying to warn you of the danger ahead. So pay attention to those feelings because they are valid and they exist as a way of naturally protecting you. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 1 of the Bible, it reads, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, for many false prophets have gone out into the world." Now, whether you're religious or not, this message is valuable. False prophets are among you. So test those spirits with your kindness and your intelligence. Notice how you feel around these people. and see if they are repelled by you. If so, that may be a sign to keep these people at a distance and simply observe how they interact with others before you draw your final conclusion about them. It's also a good idea to fine-tune your self-care practices by reading or listening to the audible of a few of my favorite books. I'll leave the links to these books in the episode notes for you, but they are Relational Intelligence by Darius Daniels, The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, and Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. I will also include a link to my own book, Back to Me, a devotional walk for the college freshman woman that I think you will find useful in your college journey. So fine-tune those skills by using some of the strategies in those books, and you'll be equipped with the gift of discernment in your relationships. Number 5, celebrate both your achievements and the achievements of others. When you set goals for yourself and you achieve them, you should celebrate. Reward yourself with your favorite dessert, movie night out with friends, a small dinner party at a local restaurant, or simply treat yourself to a day at the spa, or a peaceful, quiet night at home with popcorn and a Netflix binge party. Whatever floats your boat, be sure to do it. You deserve it. You worked hard and you should be celebrated. Now, taking time out to make these small events happen gives you the energy and boost you need to keep going. There are so many things in life to celebrate if you really think about it. For example, you are fortunate enough to receive an education that can lead you to a prosperous career, while also meeting potentially lifelong friends who may become great personal and professional resources throughout your life. So be grateful because you are worthy and you will continue to flourish. And remember, make sure you also celebrate the accomplishments of others. Everyone's journey is different, and you have no idea how impactful your applause may mean to someone who just needs a helpful hand just celebrating themselves. Amen? Do I hear an applause? All right. So those are your 5 tips for tapping into your vulnerability. I promise you, it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever possess. In a society still where boys are not allowed to cry or show emotion, and girls are to be seen and not heard, I challenge you to step into your vulnerability and show the world just how much we need each other. If you're listening for the first time and you are not familiar with me or our podcast, please go to our website for more information to listen to our previous episodes. Learning from the experience of other experts will save you some time and help you build a strong future that you can be proud of. And to those who have continued to support our podcast, we thank you and we're grateful for you. Your support and suggestions for new topics lets us know that we are doing something pretty special. So tune in next month and we'll discuss the value of setting boundaries in all of your relationships. I will have some more valuable tips that I hope bring you one step closer to achieving your goals this year. So stay tuned. And for my final words of encouragement, I challenge you to introduce yourself to someone new this week. Allow your heart to break wide open and celebrate the wonder of who you are so that the rest of the world can celebrate with you. For more information about other episodes, remember to subscribe to the Back to Me podcast, College and Beyond. I'm your host, Yoli Tamu. Leave a review at the end of this podcast. If you would like to learn more about other special events, join the Back to Me podcast Facebook group or simply text Back to Me to 833-206-4565. Until next time, be well.
Back to